Good evening and welcome once again to today's satsang. Before we start, I would like to invite Shamini. We are going to sing a little song for you, and then we'll get started. So please come. It's one that you all know very well, called Life is a Dream. Life is a dream, time like a stream, carries our burdens away. Never despair, joys everywhere, love can befriend you today. Freed from all care, like birds on the air, soar above griefs and worries, seek joy and be gay. Life is a dream, time like a stream, carries our burdens away. Never despair, joys everywhere, love can befriend you today. Freed from all care, like birds on the air, soar above griefs and worries, seek joy and be gay. Often on earth, things of great worth, worldly ambitions defy. Sometimes a friend helps us ascend up from life's curse to the sky. Love is a star, though shining afar, it can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh. Love is a star, though shining afar, it can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh. Thank you. Now I'll read from the Gita. This is the 13th chapter, stanza number 2. Know me also, O Bharata, Arjuna, as the silent knower, perceiver in all sorry for my pronunciation if I pronounce something wrong. In all kshetras, bodies evolve out of the cosmic creative principle and nature. I consider true wisdom to be the understanding of kshetra, the field, and of its relation to kshetragya, the perceiver of the field. Now this one may be a little tough to just understand like that. Fortunately, we all know that Swamiji and Master put very practical, very simple words to everything. And earlier in this chapter, he had mentioned how the, I'll just read it because the kshetra means the body, the field of battle, which the Bhagavad Gita really takes place, is within ourselves. And the kshetragya, meaning our soul, the soul that is always watching, that is always seeing what is going on from behind. And earlier in the Gita also, Krishna talks how even among men of wisdom, very few know him as he truly is, that are able to see him in everything. And we had to understand men of wisdom means people who are really advanced already, who have gone through many incarnations of struggle, that have done a lot of work. And it's very interesting that Yogananda used to say that if you see that in this lifetime somebody has overcome a strong habit, a very deeply rooted habit within themselves, you should applaud to them. You should really congratulate them, because sometimes the habits can take incarnations to get rid of. Sometimes in one incarnation we don't even get rid of one deep-seated habit or deep-seated desire. that it may take a long time. That's why even men of wisdom, who if they are still entrapped in some of these things, they may still take them a while. Now, Yogananda also said that a habit can be changed in a day, in a moment, that we are used to concentrate, to focus our energy in one direction. We just have to direct it in some other way. And these things go because as long as we're in habits, as long as we are in likes and dislikes, we are not in wisdom. As Krishna said, those who are able to identify themselves more with the soul are the wise ones, are the men and women of wisdom. Also, Lahiri Mahashaya used to say, every breath is a new incarnation. Or, of course, it can be a new incarnation. It depends on which breath we are taking, I guess. And this is very important for us who are Kriya Yogis or aspiring Kriya Yogis, because what this also means is that every Kriya we take, if we do it with devotion, if we do it with concentration, with awareness of energy, with willpower, it can burn as much karma as we could burn in a whole year, or in a maybe sometimes in an incarnation. That if through our practice or meditation, through our practice of Kriya, we don't need to wait for incarnations to get rid of these habits. Please sit wherever you want. Yeah. We don't need to wait for incarnations, normal incarnations, to get rid of these things. We can get rid of them much, much quicker. And the more we get rid of them, the more we identify ourselves with our soul nature, the more we become truly wise. Now, there is a story that I didn't hear it very long ago, so I hope I'm able to tell it correctly. But it's of a man who went to a saint. And how it's typical, the saint asked him, "Who are you?" And the man said, "I'm Narendra." And the saint said, "Who are you?" I say, "Again, I'm Narendra. I'm a banker. My father is Mr. Ram Gupta, whatever." And the saint again, "But who are you?" And, maybe Mr. Narendra thought the saint was a little deaf and didn't understand. But somehow, after some time of silence, the saint said, "You don't know who you are, so it's good you came to me." I was very confused, of course. But he decided, I feel very peaceful in the presence of this man, so I'm going to keep coming back. And he kept coming back and back again and again. And because of the vibrations of the saint, he started really introspecting about this, who I am. And he started thinking, well, yes, I cannot just be a banker. That's a thing I am doing. I cannot just be a husband. I cannot just be a father. He started to realize that even though he was taking all these outward roles, even though he was doing all the things in life, there was something in himself. He started to go deeper and deeper within himself and realized there was something that was always the same. Through his childhood, through his adolescence, through his young adulthood, he was always there, and he knew that that was going to also be there all along. And of course, seeing this, we remember the words of Anandamoyi Ma on the autobiography of a yogi. I am always the same. When this happened, I was always the same, ever the same. And then one time he told the saint, I don't really know who I am. And the saint said, that's better. That's better. And again, he kept going and going and going. And one time, again, the saint, the saint asked him who I am. And again, he was thinking and thinking and thinking. And after some days or weeks or perhaps months, he came again to the saint and told him, I know who I am now, but I cannot communicate it with my words. And the saint said, excellent. Now that words fail you to communicate, we can start communing with each other. I can start teaching you a lot of things. And it is very interesting, the whole concept of something that you cannot express with words, something that is too precious that you cannot express it outwardly in any way. And I don't know who I am necessarily. I know intellectually who I am. I don't yet feel who I am truly. But I know that many times, and this is part of the topic that I want to bring, that I remember being so grateful to somebody, or so for, not necessarily for things that they did, but for their friendship, for their support, for this, that, I could say thank you, but it was never enough. I could do something for them, but even that was also not enough. That was a feeling that could not be carried through actions or through words. That I knew that it was something I had just to try to share as much as I could as a vibration with those people or that person or whoever it was. And when you get to that point, you start to realize how much everything is inward, how much we have to identify ourselves more with that inner nature, that soul nature that goes beyond any description, it goes beyond words. And that's why also, for two reasons, we sang this word with this song, Life is a Dream. See, this book of Swamiji, A Tale of Song, that he wrote, the meaning of his songs, what the inspiration behind his song, is not available in India, unfortunately. But we have a copy upstairs if you are interested to read. And look what he said about life is a dream. Life disappoints us until we discover that it is only a dream. Gain and loss, these two, being dreams, are fleeting. The love of true friendship alone remains precious to us forever, as part of the infinite love of God. He's talking here about the love of friendship that we feel for one another. But not only that as being an expression of the love of God. That love of God is our higher nature. It is our soul nature. We are expressions of that love from God. And when we are able to see that love in our Guruvais, in our friends, then too, that is something that remains forever. That is something that we identify ourselves forever. That, that is one of the wonderful things that Swamiji did by creating communities. Because some of us used to live in the Watundi ashram when we were trying our best to make it a spiritual community, and to some degree it was. That people used to come there and say, how lucky you are, how easy your life is, you're just here, this, that. And it's true, we were lucky, I have no doubt about that, but it was not easy. It was not easy because of the electricity going or the water. Those things are easy in some way. But what happens when you are with a few people, seeing them every day? We had to work with them, you had to eat with them, you had to do everything with them except sleeping. Like, what happens? They start rubbing against each other more and more and more. And you have no choice. They're always going to be there. Like your family is always going to be there, but this is even more, you could say. And you start to realize that it's not as easy as you think to live in community. Because it is only easy if you are willing to let go of those things, of those egoic principles, of your desires, of your like and dislike. If you are able to see everybody in the higher sense, then it becomes a blessing, because then you see that there is countless opportunities for growth. But you don't need to live in a community for that. The advantage of living in a community of spiritual people is that over there, everybody knows that if they see something wrong in somebody else, it means there is something wrong within themselves. Because the mere fact that we are reacting to something means that we ourselves are not perfect, means that we ourselves need to work something out. And so, I want you to see from now on, your Guruvais, your friends, your family as well. See, what are those things maybe that trigger you? People always will trigger you. And instead of shunning those things away, instead of running away from them, I don't like this person, even sometimes with Guruvais, we feel that way, I don't connect so much with him, he's like this and like that. No. Go and ask yourself, what is wrong with me? And when you are able to peel that off, you'll be able to identify yourself more with your soul nature. And, I don't know if being a man or having been a monk for some time, I find detachment fairly easy, in my opinion. I hope I'm not speaking from ego here. And sometimes it is very easy for me, somebody does something, it's okay, let it be. I just let it go. But then, that also sometimes can be the wrong approach. Because, Yes, I didn't like it, and it's easy for me to forgive, to let it go. It doesn't matter. But still, I should introspect and see why. What is happening? Why is it that this is pushing my button again? Or why is it? So detachment is good, but it should not be used as an excuse also not to introspect and try to go deeper within ourselves. And this is some things that friends and family can help us. God gave us other people for a reason. If he wanted us only to meditate and be in the cave, he would not have given us other people. So try to see all of this as opportunities. And now, what Swamiji was saying even in this, and what Krishna was saying, to see life as a dream, that for me, it really has helped me more and more to identify myself with something higher, with something changeless, to actually do see life as a dream. Now, there is a few ways that you can see life as a dream. You can see life as a dream as saying like, oh, it's all a dream. Who cares if I don't have a job? It's a dream. My family, it's a dream. It's all delusion. That is, of course, the wrong way to see life as a dream. And again, it is very dangerous sometimes to try to see life as a dream, because you may become complacent, you may become, lazy and all these things. But for me, it has been very helpful in this way, that many times, again, in the ashram, we are not lazy. We have lots of things to do. Aditya can say that right now because the new center going on. Blazy also, everybody can say they're very busy, getting things done. And it happens to us that sometimes in the spirit of service, which is a wonderful spirit, we can get stressed out. Oh no, I have to do this. Oh no, oh, so many things and so little time to do them. Whenever that thing comes into my mind, I tell myself, but it doesn't matter at the end. It doesn't matter if I want to do a very nice job, I want to do the best job I can, for whatever reason I can't. It's a dream. It's a dream of God. He doesn't care if I do a very good job or not. He just cares that I love him, that I do my best for him. Because what happens is, we all love to serve him. But if we become stressed, if we become excited, if we start being so restless, we forget him. And in that forgetfulness, there is no more service. Because service is feeling the power of God flowing through you, is Nishkam Karma, is feeling that everything you do is for him alone while you're doing it and after you're doing it. So in that way, whenever things start piling up on top of me, I say, well, I may be the worst devotee in the world, but I'm not going to get stressed about it. I'm going just to do my best and remember that God is what matters. My love for God is what matters. If anything comes in my way, then what's the point? It stops being a duty. So see life as a dream, maybe in that way. That whether you succeed at something or not, it doesn't matter, but you are going to put your very best. But with that sense of freedom, that sense of freedom that comes, because there comes a lot of freedom by feeling that what you do, it matters, but it doesn't matter. It matters just because of how it affects you in your relationship with God, really. But outwardly, nothing really matters, because everything will go away eventually, as Swamiji was saying in this. But again, we always have to do our best. So try to see everything as an opportunity to work on yourself, to iron your little kinks of desires, to everything, to see yourself more as a changeless, immortal soul. That immortal soul that is a reflection of God's love, and that its only duty is to give itself back to the divine. Om.